The Lord took me now to America. Rabakistonga Shata. Malakata. I see the man called Trump. Donald Trump. The man is impeached, right? But I see the man continuing. I don't know why. I see the man continuing. They say, he was impeached, so he's supposed to. I see him continuing. I don't know why. Hello? Because of Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump is going to win again. Any man, God is behind him. You can condemn the man, but God behind him, you can never condemn that God. Any man, God said go, and he's going. No matter what you do, you cannot stop him. God say it is time for the president of America to quick as possible to go spiritual. God said let him do what? Go spiritual, because there's a deliberate plan to put him by the side. But I see a prophetic message that surprised me. And I begin to ask myself, what is this prophetic message? Because the way it is appearing in my eyes in the realm of the spirit is something that I as a person begin to wonder. Because I thought that this is something that is God. And God took me back and said, remember the revelation I showed you on the 31st night? I said, what is the revelation? And God said, I told you I'm not done with Donald Trump. I said, what is the meaning of this? I see Donald Trump contesting for American presidency again. In the realm of the spirit, contesting again. But I don't know why or what is going to happen, but I see him contesting again. And the Lord said, we are too early in the early hour of whatever is going to happen, but the prayer is we're praying for the people to succeed. So this time around, it is too early to begin to dive into what is happening in the realm of the spirit. But it's always good when the Spirit of God begin to move you and open something. He makes it like a glance so that you can put it across the people of God to see it. And as I began to speak, the Lord took me again, and the Lord began to take me bit by bit. I asked the Lord, what is this? I see myself right there in United States of America. I said, Lord, what am I doing here? Because this is not my country. I'm not supposed to be here. What am I doing in United States of America? God said, I want you to go and deliver a message. He said, I want you to go and deliver a message right there in United States of America. And I began to ask the Lord, I said, what kind of a message is the Lord asking me to deliver? And he said, my servant, I am taking you to United States of America to go and let them know that I am not done with Donald Trump. God says it's not done with Donald Trump. God says it's not done with Donald Trump. God says it's not through with Donald Trump. And I began to ask a question in the realm of the spirit, what is it not done with him? He said, no, it's not done. It's not over. Something is going on in the realm of the spirit, and then God knows the best. And let the name of the Lord be praised forever in the name of Jesus Christ. And the Lord took the major prophet of God to the spiritual world and said, America should pray for their presidential candidate, starting from Donald Trump. This issue of what's called a wave of assassination of what's called political office holder and what's called a political assassination that I saw in the realm of the spirit, and I prophesied it, because what's going to happen in American election has already been tabulated and given the major prophet of God. And I'm having to right now, as I'm talking to you, right on this table, I'm going to read it out as the Lord has given to major prophet of God to prophesy. I am seeing what's called Donald Trump scuttled in and go to become the American president again. The issue of becoming the next American president will be impossible to stop. Because right now, the Lord wants us to be aware of everything before they begin to happen. It's a thing of joy. It's a thing of happiness. It's a thing of celebration. It's a thing to give God the glory. It's a thing to worship God. What a great God and what a loving Father. What a God that wants to tell his children things before they begin to happen, so that you will not be in what's called a darkness. Remember 2020 through 2021 after American election. I told you about Donald Trump. And I told you, I said, I see a time is coming that the people of America will go back. I said, Donald Trump, come and contest again. And I'm seeing Donald Trump contesting again to be president of America. To be the president of America. I get the prophecy, people neglected it. I am not in America. I am not an American, and I cannot campaign or begin to campaign for people of America. But what the major prophet of God will do is to glance into the realms of the spirit, to be able to see things before they begin to happen. Because right now, as regarding the American election that is at hand, this is what everybody wants to know. This is what everybody is praying for. This is what everybody wants to know. Who will win the American election? Everybody is interested. Everybody wants to know. This is not the strength of the major prophet of God, so that you don't get me wrong. This is not, oh, major prophet of God is the greatest man of God on the face of the earth. No, I cannot boast of any position. But as long as heaven is concerned, God has determined and decided to use major prophet of God beyond every human comprehension. Doubt it to your own peril. Because major prophet of God, I am not an instrument of human. I am the instrument of Jehovah God. Not by my making, not by my strength, not by my willing, but the will of God and what God has decided to do upon the face of the earth. So that people who try to copy, they copy to their own peril. A major prophet of God will have the word to prophesy things, and they begin to happen. The only thing you can do for yourself is to share the broadcast. Let people see it. Not to copy. Share the broadcast. Tell the major prophet of God has prophesied the will of God. Because what's going to happen in the American election has already been tabulated and given the major prophet of God. And I'm having to right now, as I'm talking to you, right on this table, I'm going to read it out as the Lord has given to major prophet of God to prophesy. And I told the people, I said, Biden is not going to contest. And people mocked me. Say, look at Biden, I've taken it. I said, I'm saying, turn aside. And they say it's a joke. And before you know it, it happened exactly as was prophesied. And I told people, and I said, I am seeing in the realm of the spirit what's called an attack. They should pray for American presidential candidate. I am seeing an attack, especially the man called Donald Trump. That I'm seeing what's called an attack, and this was called assassination attack in the month of May. I prophesied life there and here. You all are my witness. And I said they should pray for God to avert what was spiritually and programmed by the enemies to do that. You were here live when I gave the prophecy, and you were like, oh, how can this be possible? America has all the security and everything. I don't doubt America has it all. But God is still having a mind that can see beyond all the security and see what is already there in the realm of the spirit and in the realm of the physical, what is about to happen. And God opened the eye of the major prophet of God, and I dictated it up. And I began to pray about it. And we prayed about it. And in the month of July, behold, what was prophesied live and direct here came to pass. And the Lord averted it. This is the prophecy that should call all the world leaders, all the international community, and all the people that matters to take the prophecy of major prophet of God serious, and now begin to look up to God and know that this is not human comprehension. Because God has given to the world his voice and his instrument to talk to the world before the time. And after that prophecy, we all saw what happened, and God saved Donald Trump. And I came up again and said there's a danger ahead. Another what's called an assassination attack. The second time is coming. They should pray. And the prayer was done. The program for that assassination failed because a prayer was said right on this altar as the Lord was busy revealing to major prophet of God to monitor everything and follow it up spiritually, because we don't want problem for people of America. Because if America sneezes, some countries of the world will have headache. If America should be in trouble right now, many countries of the world will run a tasketa. I'm telling you the truth. Take it for granted. You see. And that actually played out. And I said another one the third time. And we all heard what happened the third time. That is a proof that God is not a man. That's a proof that God is always using somebody to speak. That's it, that God is always at work talking. It's left for the world to hear. He said, let him that has ear hear what the Spirit is saying. And let he who want to hear the voice of God be ready for God to speak to you. Don't be among the people who never care to hear about the voice of God. You're looking at the God is speaking and you say, oh, that doesn't concern you. It doesn't matter. Then you are not ready to, understand God and how God works. It came to pass that way. And today, major prophet of God, I am here to talk to you so that you can be able to pray. We need to pray for America. We need to support them. We need to stand with them. We need to let God have mercy and show his mercy. If not for anybody, but for people in America. And somebody said, a major prophet of God is like you like a candidate. I am not a man that says I like a candidate. But I'm a man that follows what the voice of God is telling me, because I wouldn't want to go any other way. Don't forget the prophecy that I gave you when there was impeachment time of Donald Trump. I told you the impeachment will not stand. And the impeachment will not work because God is not done with Donald Trump. And right now, the Lord also revealed to me, Donald Trump should now do what he needs to do, but right the way. It is time to now let the cat out. We need to pray for America. Because I'm saying that what's called election is right there going on. And as election is going on, and the Lord said, go and tell them that the only people that will make Donald Trump not to be president of America this time around is what's called electoral courage. Electoral courage are the only people. Apart from electoral courage, I am seeing what's called Donald Trump scuttled in and go to become the American president again. The issue of becoming the next American president will be impossible to stop. Somebody will say, but we don't like him or this or that. I myself am not an American to come and say I like this one or I like the other one. Don't get me wrong and don't worry me for nothing. Look at me as a prophet, as a messenger that is looking at the spiritual world and begin to dictate things the way they are in the realms of the spirit and begin to prophesy them the way I see them, because I am not going to now see things and say the otherwise, because the only people that can say this cannot go is electoral college. Electoral college. And this electoral college are after the voting, the people that determines and the people that decide, and they call them the people that decision making. So let nothing negative happen there, because this is what is going to now trigger all of the things I've been telling you to pray against. Because the reason for this is that major prophet of God, every prophecy I give here is consequential. They follow each other and they back up each other. Because when I told you, I said that Biden is not going to contest, you said it's a no. That, oh, watch out and see. And the time came, he took up the ticket. As he took up the ticket, the next prophecy that came, that there's going to be a thrown out. And they thrown out and they thrown aside finally happened to complement the first prophecy, and they were able to line up together. Because major prophet of God, I am not in the prophetic for gainsay. I'm not in the prophetic for gazing of words. I'm not in the prophetic to come and say things when the spirit has not moved the major prophet of God to say it. And this is why major prophet of God, I will not prophesy until when the Lord say go ahead and speak. And you see me come here and speak, because we are looking at the spiritual world and we are looking at the physical world, and that's what's called standing in the gap, and also see what's called the bridge, the spiritual world and the physical world, to bring them together, where the voice of the Lord will come from the realms of the spirit and speak to the people in the realm of the physical through the instrument that God and God alone is using. So I'm not saying this for you to now come and bring the respect or the honor to major prophet of God. All the honor, all the glory is unto God, who sitteth in heaven and uses a man, just like as I am owning this microphone on and off, and use it for whatever purpose I want to use it for. That's why I sang the song here. I said, where mo, where me digima, and then go where mo chimu, where me digima, where mo, where me digima, and then go where mo chimu, where me digima. And I said, use me, Lord, use me for your purpose. I give my life to you. Jesus, use me for your purpose. I say, use me, Lord. I say, use me for your purpose. I give my life to you. Oh Lord, use me for your purpose. Use me, Lord. Use me for your purpose. I give my life to you. Jehovah, use me for your purpose. Wherever me take it back. I say, use me, Lord. Use me for your purpose. I give my life to you. Jehovah, use me for your purpose. And this is what's called finally the voice of the Lord has spoken about who to win American election. So take it there, and that is what is there in the realm of the spirit. And the next country we must look at is what's called the Ghana election. I have already given you prophecies of what's going to happen right there in Ghana election and how it is all going to play out. And I look at the spiritual world, and somebody want to get angry. You want to get angry with the major prophet of God, or you want to get angry with God? In a barachukumba, a bachara yamba igakuye. Allow God to say what he wants to say. Allow God to do what he wants to do. Allow God to visualize and give us the vision. Just like when I begin to give prophecy about the country Nigeria. Some people now pick offense and get angry. You pick offense, you get angry. Are you angry with the major prophet, or you're angry with God, or you're angry with your country? What anger is it that you're putting up? Stop getting angry with the major prophet of God, because a major prophet of God is just an instrument to be used by God. You know, I told you, I said the American election, and I told you everything about Ghanaian election. I said in the election of Ghana and what's about to happen in Ghana, I told you to pray. Because one of the things that will happen before the election day is what's called a candidate to not be among, not be complete. The presidential candidate not being complete on the day of election. Now you said on Monday, one of the candidates that was very healthy and everything, all of a sudden they said his body is doing somehow, and before you know it, the news is she's dead. It's a presidential candidate. In fact, it's either number what? I've forgotten the number right there in the ballot paper that's going to be voted for. And I told you this a month ago. And the purpose of this is for you to now pray the prayer that needed to be prayed. Who is to be blamed here? Is it the major prophet of God, or God to be blamed, or yourself? Because people that are concerned are not taking the prophecy serious. They don't take this major prophet of God serious. They take major prophet for granted. And the major prophet have recorded the highest in the wide world in prophesying things that will happen. When it comes to people that are prophesied or said things in the world and they come to pass, major prophet has recorded the highest. If you know the highest, tell me. Or you want to talk about Nostradamus? Nostradamus was in the centuries we don't know. So we're talking about real time, the real deal. Whether it is last 50 years or last 20 years, major prophet of God has given the highest number of prophecies that came to pass in Nigeria, in Africa, in America, in all over the world, concerning presidency, concerning government, concerning individuals, concerning what's called every day on the face of the planet Earth, concerning the nature, the ozone layer, concerning climate, and concerning all of these things, both earthquakes, both signs in the air, both days of rain to fall, both days of different things to happen on the face of the earth. Major prophet of God, by the Spirit of God and the grace of God, has prophesied the highest. Yet this highest does not make major prophet to puff up. This highest does not make major prophet to come out there and make noise. This does not make major prophet of God to see myself as God, but this has humbled the major prophet the more, that I should be more humble to my creator, to my maker, and bow myself before the altar, bow myself before the cross, and bow myself before the maker of heaven and earth, that God alone should be God over my life. So, but little people and people who have not seen anything, you see them carry themselves puff up, begin to do all of these things, because they are still flesh. Flesh is still controlling them. So, major prophet God, don't get angry with me. If the prophecy is for Biafra, don't get angry with me. If the prophecy is for Nigeria, don't get angry with me. If the prophecy is for Africa, don't get angry with me. If the prophecy is for America, don't get angry with me. If it is for the people in Nigeria, don't get angry with me. Whatever the prophecy may be, don't get angry with the major prophet of God. Another issue that we must look at is what's called the Nigerian system. Don't forget, when I told you a few months ago, like a month plus ago, I said pray for Nigerians, all the service chiefs. I told you to pray for service chiefs. I told you to pray. You remember what I told you to pray about service chiefs? You remember the prophecy? The prophecy is still very clear. But another issue you must pray about is what's called Nigerian planes, especially the one that belong to people of the this was called, and the realm of the spirit, this was called the plane of the people that called police planes, army planes, navy planes, and all of these planes. They are planes that they use to surveillance. They should pray, whether it be a helicopter or it be what's called this was called, or what's called, whatever it is. You have to pray, and people inside, you have to pray for them. For what's called Nigeria, pray about this matter.